I still look at it as a rivalry. It's just that
Absolutely.
the Celtics are way above in the rivalry where it's there. And that's where it'll bring back to the Joel part of him saying that because they don't beat them. All right, well, they don't beat them. Is it something that's fearful in them in certain parts of the game? And you never want to say a team or players are scared of anybody. And we've seen them beat them. They're close in a lot of these games where it's a competitive game. Something unravels with them in these games where we may not see it as much with the Celtics. And even if there is some unraveling with the Boston Celtics, they find a way to figure out where the 76ers do not against this specific team. Other teams, we've seen them correct the mistakes in the moment, figure it out, and they get it done. The Celtics, not so much. That's why the regular season is important for the matchup once they do get to the postseason. And again, eventually during those 4 games of the regular season, how do you walk away? How do you find ways to win these basketball games against the team that you're going to have to get over that hump with?
And Rick brings up in the chat, I agree with this. He said, I love how this Sixers roster matches up with them. It's certainly, they are much better positioned this year to take on this Celtics team. And I do think if you're looking for vulnerabilities with Boston, their thing is that they live by the sword, they die by the sword. So there will be games, even against elite teams, where you play a pretty good game. You defend them well. You have the right game plan coming in, but they just take 58 threes and make a ton of them. And the math problem is just so hard to overcome that you're not going to win. The flip side of that is there are games when they're going to play heavy isolation, spread it out, run everything through just Jason Tatum's going to attack this guy. Jaylen Brown's going to attack this guy. They will settle for tough pull-up jump shots. And Jason Tatum's going to put up a 3 for 15 start to the game, a 4 for 13 start to the game, and give you that opportunity to maybe win the game, at least get out to an early lead and build some padding between you and them. You have to be opportunistic and take advantage of those situations. So they're not invulnerable. They're not unbeatable, right? They're a team that has weaknesses at times in terms of their approach to the game. But the talent level is super high. And I think the other thing that, acquiring a guy like Drew Holiday helped, acquiring a guy like Derek White, and even Kristaps Porzingis, who I think adapted how he played to be one of the guys rather than a featured player, they all now have this understanding of, team before self and how things work. And, sometimes it's just Derek White's night. Sometimes it's Jaylen Brown won finals MVP the beginning of the season. People are like, how the hell in the world would you give Jaylen Brown this $300 million contract? And everyone's calling it untradeable and terrible. Well, he ends the season as the finals MVP because in that series, he had it rolling, right? And so they're happy, all these guys, to just play through whoever has it rolling at any given time. Frankly, some of it helps that they're all paid really well so that none of these guys are fighting for next paycheck, right? They're locked up on long-term big money deals. They don't have to worry about the politics of, hey, this is my night. And so that's a big advantage that I think they have too. But again, not unbeatable. And when you put Joel Embiid against Kristaps Porzingis, that's a matchup that you could potentially attack. And that, we say it all the time, that's ultimately what it comes down to, right? Joel being the best player in a series and leveraging whatever advantages that he has.
Yeah, and they're coming back from this. They're going to be defending champs. They're going to want to, again, prove that they are defending champs. You add in a few other things where Jaylen Brown is now ticked off at everybody because he didn't get.
And that'll be a fun subplot.
It'd be a nice little fun subplot.
Sure.
Jason Tatum is ticked off at Steve Kerr, so he wants to go on a mission and take it out on him, certainly, but the rest of the league because he didn't play in the Olympics. All these small little things that players use as things that they need to use a little bit to light a fire underneath them. That has nothing to do with anybody else, but for them, it's like, let's go show these people that we still are those guys.
We all silly like the mayor.